Hey everybody, welcome to the night's episode of Half-Scaped. Tonight we are joined by the Florida Scape team as well as the one and only Jennifer Williams. How's everybody doing tonight? How you doing, Jen?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thank you for coming. Brian, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm glad to have Jen on here tonight. It's always fun hanging out with her at shows.
Me too. Grant, you got some craziness going on. What are you up to? That's not your normal background. There's a lack of tanks.
We are in Kentucky for the Triple Crown Convention. It's hosted by the ACA, aka ALA, and the Rainbow Club. So it's 4 clubs basically throwing on a big fish show. John's here with a Lassie booth.
Awesome.
We already hung out with him for a little bit. Oh, you will?
Mm-hmm.
I thought John was manning the whole station all by himself. It's a shipwreck down there. You wouldn't be happy. No, he runs a tight ship. That guy has it down.
Yeah.
So everything's already dropped off at the auction near the donations or whatever he was going to. So, but how you doing? She just got here.
Yeah. How you doing, Shelby?
Hey, everybody. Good. Busy.
Her mom lives like an hour and a half away from here, so she's watching the kids currently right now. So
awesome.
That's the way to do it.
But they're up
really
here.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be putting Jaden to work tomorrow. He's got to sell some moss. He's got to at least sell his body weight in moss, or he can't come home.
Yeah, man, leave him up
That
in
or guppy
Kentucky.
grass.
That's steep.
So
I told him there was room for more tanks than there was kids in the way home.
So we have something exciting coming up. We got Aquascapes in Dallas in about 10 days now, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll be in Dallas a week from now exactly.
Yeah.
Doing our live stream from a Dallas
hotel room.
Yeah.
No, we got to find someplace better than a hotel room to do it. We'll find somewhere nice. But we can all do it on one camera or 2
except
cameras.
for Brian, because Brian won't be there.
Oh, Brian.
Because I got hit in a car in Dallas, and I don't really want to go back there.
You like return to Nam every time you go to Dallas?
Pretty much. I have
PTSD.
flashbacks getting off the plane.
Jimmy
No
and
good.
Esther
And
plan.
Shelby said if we can get 100 people to view the stream tonight, she'll eat a can of worms.
No.
All right.
There
All right.
we
Send
go.
the message out.
No. Grant will eat it.
No.
So what I'm really excited about, what I'm always pretty much have been excited about since it started now with Aquascapes, is the Aqua Gallery. I honestly think that it's my favorite part of Aquascapes. I absolutely love the fact that it's showcasing local artists as well as big name artists. It gives a lot of local artists the opportunity to scape alongside some of their favorite scapers like yourself, Melanie, Jeff Miyake, even George Farmer. So, I mean, there's some big names that you get to stand alongside and watch. And there's also, I mean, coming into the gallery and looking at all the various scapes, various forms of art. It's definitely my favorite part of Aquascapes. How did I know you're involved in it. So how did it come to be? How did it start?
Well, actually, it was Ashley's brainchild. So this is something that she always wanted to do. She always had a dream of doing a gallery of aquascapes.
And for those that don't know, Ashley is a representative for Oase. She is Miss Oase, in my opinion.
Agreed. Yeah, so this was something that she always wanted to do and had a dream of, and the opportunity arose last year in Dallas. Actually, was the first one we did. Is that right? Was Dallas?
Yeah, because Dallas came before Chicago last year.
Yeah. No, Dallas was last. Chicago was in the middle.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so this was the second one. So we did Chicago first. Erase everything I just said. So yeah, we did the Chicago one, and it was great because on the ground we had Caps there, the Chicago Planet Club, and they were just, I mean, so helpful, and just we couldn't have done it without them, basically. So they did a lot of the hard work on the ground, and that first time is always the hardest, right? And so we had a lot of their tanks there that we were able to get them to grow out ahead of time, which was perfect. I mean, that's really the way to do it if you can. So that was the first one. and it was such a success and everybody loved it. They were like, well, let's keep doing them. So here we are.
Nice.
I think we're going to have 23 tanks this time, I think.
Awesome.
If I remember right. A lot. It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot of
that's
moving
just-
parts for sure.
It is, and watching it all come together was just amazing. All the hands behind the scenes to make sure that things get done. Like it's second to nothing as far as the production goes. Like with being involved in art like my whole life and watching galleries, pop-up galleries and stuff come up. This is so different because there's actual like living creatures. There's water chemistry involved. There's plants involved. There's time involved. So I mean,
You guys put so much time and work into that.
Dude,
John
it's
made a
insane.
joke that because you're not doing the creators contest this time, that he'd actually have time to relax and maybe catch some sleep. And I looked at him, I'm like, you're not going to get any sleep that night. You know, you're going to put just as much time and effort going into just the gallery and everything now instead of spreading it all out. So I think it'll be better for you guys for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to actually being able to spend some time in the booth. That'll be nice for a change.
Yeah. So from my perspective, it's pretty cool because like if I'm one of the guys that shows up at the booths at like 10 o'clock at night, and I always know the OASI guys are still there scaping, and I can just hang out and stuff like that and all that stuff. And one of the cool things, if anybody's not been to a show and seen that, is there's a ton of people at shows and you don't necessarily know their background, but when Scape competitions start happening at the OASI booth, like I always say this hobby, you know, personally can feel like you're on an island, but when you get together with people that like you just connect with because you have that same passion for aquascaping, it's really cool to see like a company trying to promote that mentality.
Exactly, yeah. And speaking of backgrounds, I kind of jumped the gun a bit. Sorry, did I cut you off?
No, I
Oh,
was just
my
going to
turn?
expand on that.
Go right
last
ahead,
point,
yeah.
but we
Expand
can
away.
I was
Yeah.
just going to say that one of the main things I love about working with OASA is that they're just so in tune with the community, and that's really their prime driver, is reaching out and being involved with the community and helping out as much as they can. And I haven't seen that from really anybody else, which really has endeared me to them wholeheartedly. It's pretty incredible.
Yep, that's why I keep coming back. It's the same thing, you know. My whole goal in doing this is to build the hobby, and when I see companies putting the work and effort into what they do to build the hobby, you know, there's no question. But
exactly.
yeah, I jumped the gun a bit and I started. Got too excited. I started talking about the Aqua Gallery. Brian, ask your do your thingy.
It's my weekly question. So, Jen, we know you're with OASE and you're very involved in the hobby. I know you work with GWAPA and everything like that. Tell us what got you in the hobby and what made you do what you do and make you love the hobby, because it's always fun to hear how people go through their life path to get that common, you know, passion.
Right. Like the origin story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like everybody else, it was a mono, but to get to that, I always kept fish, but I never really kept plants, like since I was a little girl. And I had moved into my condo and I had Firemouth Cichlids. And, you know, if you have two, you have 10,000. And I put an ad on Craigslist, Firemouths, bring a bucket and a net, take as many as you want. And this guy shows up at my doorstep. I was like, this is dumb. And I let him in. And he goes on and on about this Amano guy and planted tanks and all this nonsense. And I'm sitting in the back of the room just going, this guy's insane. What kind of crazy people would go to a fish club meeting with plants? And it just makes no sense. And sure enough, he kept talking and started talking about this Amano guy. And he said, you should look him up. And I was like, all right, whatever. And so I looked him up and I was like, whoa, that's amazing. And that was really the hook that got me in. And I went to a GWAPA meeting. I think it was not even 2 months later. And, you know, with every intention of sitting in the back of the room and being like, these guys are losers. And just loving every second of it. Everyone was so nice, so welcoming. And I just kind of felt immediately like I belonged. And that's where I come from. The rest is history.
So with So with aquascaping, what does it bring to you? Like, as far as, you know, more than just a hobby, like does it bring anything else into your life? One of the personal reasons for me is like just therapeutic. But I know like there's other people that do it for various reasons, but I find like a lot of the scapers who are actually like into it for the art purposes and like into it because they love it, it's a lot deeper than that. So I was just curious with you, do you get kind of sort of a personal therapy out of it as well?
Well, sure. I think to anybody, dealing with nature all the time is therapy in and of itself, right? For me, I would be lying if I didn't say the competition was a driver for me, although I'm kind of weaning myself off of it as I get older and don't care as much about going through all the trouble. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely therapeutic. You get to have nature inside your house, and you don't get to control it, but you get to be one with it, you know? And you get to just have that experience every day whenever you want to go down and just lose yourself or de-stress or, you know, find another passion or another thing to worry about. And that isn't, you know, something outside. I live right near DC. So, I mean, it's always craziness here. You can't escape it. So having this basement with a little bit of serenity is pretty awesome. Yeah,
I remember from being up there. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's everywhere. Yeah, but I don't think anybody can say that they don't find some therapeutic value in this hobby. It would just be impossible. It's too awesome.
I agree. Totally.
So I want to jump in and just say that I actually didn't discover aquatic plants through Amano. It was actually Dustin. So I'm one of the people that'll admit it. That
you admit it too. Wow.
I know, right? I came to the conclusion that I found a book on the shelf.
Dustin's awesome, though. You know, he's been doing this slog for a really long time, and you cannot take that away from him.
Oh no! And what he does for the kids with the kids aquascaping competition at Aquashella is absolutely phenomenal, man. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I support him 100% with it. Like that's
same.
It's all different levels, and like I said, he's brought so many people just with his energy into the hobby.
Oh yeah,
that have become legitimate aquascapers, and that's one of the reasons why, like, I actually admit, you know, like he's what got me into interested in plants. I mean, granted, I did find Amano and do all that stuff after the fact, but like from a passion standpoint, he spreads that passion for just aquatic plants or living aquariums. I might disagree on substrates and stuff like that, but you know, it's still it's fun. It's fun to see that energy into our hobby.
Yep,
absolutely,
I agree. So back to the Aqua Gallery. What does it take for some of the people watching that are in like Chicago or in Dallas or in Orlando or around surrounding areas? What does it take for them to participate or potentially participate in the Aqua Gallery? How does an artist get noticed by you guys?
That's a really good question, and we actually kind of have discussions about that sometimes because we want to help the community, but we can't let everybody participate because then we get stampeded, right? So really what we're trying to do is build relationships within the community and kind of find people that are like-minded, that really have it in their heart and have the same values as we do so far as, you know, supporting the community and the hobby in general. And we try to give people some exposure. So, I mean, really, it is the relationships that we're trying to build within the community more than anything else.
Awesome. I lost.
Hope that answered it. Did that answer it?
It did. Yes, it did. I'm gonna go ahead and jump to questions really quickly, just to the chat rather. Yeah, I always like run through and miss the chat. So real quickly, just say hi to everybody. Hey Zen Ginger. Hey Nano. Hey Crypt Keeper. What's up, guys? I don't have my glasses today. I know they're over there. I don't feel like grabbing them. Melanie, she says hi. It's nice to see everybody. Hello. Let's see. I guess that's there's not many questions on there, so that's awesome. So more just highs and everything. So
Matt asked me if I missed my shrimp yet. No, I brought 1,000 of them plus with me, so I'm good.
I didn't even see it. If you guys can see
see
the
his
chat, go
bathtub
ahead
right
and jump
now?
in. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick giveaway. Just trying to figure out this tool really quickly.
Oh yeah,
here.
Chance. Congratulations on the 1,000. I think you did it at the end of the last video last week, but you got 1,000 subs. Congratulations, dude. I know you put a lot
Thank
of work
you.
into that, and you've just started to crack into like really sharing your greenhouses. So congratulations, man. We're proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate
Totally.
it.
Good job.
So Shelby, explain how this works. I just copy and paste the hashtag in there.
Yeah, so just type in whatever hashtag and then whatever you want it to say, and then hit enter, and then they'll have to put it in the chat, and you'll start seeing entries on there.
All right, cool. All right, guys. So for the first giveaway, we're going to go ahead and do a plant pack from Aquascapes. This plant pack will include some of my rare plants as well as rare crypts. Just go ahead and take this right there and start posting it up. We'll give you guys a few minutes to go ahead and do that. Actually, I'm going to time it exactly. We're at 16 minutes and 10 seconds right now. At 18 minutes and 10 seconds, 2 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and draw the first winner. All right, guys? So in the meantime, let's go ahead and you guys want to look at some scapes, or what do you want to?
Real quick, Brandon is in the channel, and he had me and Shelby over today. We drove all the way from Florida to Kentucky, and the two of us, our kids, and Lucas Brett got to go check out his house. He cooked for us. He's got tanks down in the basement, or maybe that's at the bottom floor. It's so weird when you have stairs in houses.
Florida, we don't get that.
And then he had some ponds on the porch out back, and it's kind of like what I want to do for my frog lagoons, so they stop having babies in my shrimp ponds. So
yeah,
thank you, Brandon, so much. It was really nice to see the tanks and your hospitality and everything. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I wish when I was up there I could have stopped by.
You missed out.
I was getting pulled around everywhere, man.
Hey, Jen, is that a saltwater tank in your background?
Not a pleasure trip.
Is it a macroalgae town?
No,
it's a nano reef.
So what's funny is there's a lot of us out here who, so like I always say, like saltwater, I actually like to keep it simple, like with softies and stuff like that. And I like to make my aquascapes, my plants and stuff like that. Like that's usually my more complicated scape. So I always love seeing the duality, because it's really fun to have a simple saltwater tank set up, with just easy to grow stuff. And it's a duality from the hobby standpoint, because like with them it's more naturally growth beauty, whereas with aquascaping you're kind of curating what you see.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. Honestly, it's the lowest maintenance tank that I have. It's on autopilot at this point. I've had it running for so long that I don't mess with it. Every time I mess with it, something horrible happens. So I just let it do its thing. Unless I see that something needs work, then I take care of it.
Little manual removal of
awesome.
algae if you get it, and you're good to go.
Yep.
Or pastime Chance.
All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna do a draw really quickly,
1,000
guys.
seconds.
Really quickly. It says I have 0 entries. Do I gotta refresh it? I guess I'll refresh it. Let's see what it does. Oh, it disappeared now. I probably just broke it. Give me a minute. Why didn't it work?
That's
hilarious.
It's the choice of
Planet Live, folks.
Live technology.
What was hilarious
there it
was
goes.
3:30 in the morning, lady at the machines in the back of a gas station playing slot machines, eating nachos.
Dude,
3 o'clock in the morning.
3:30.
Ooh, that's the
typical.
life.
And it was a smoke-filled room.
Mm-hmm.
No.
All right,
I always
got
get
it.
jealous of people living their dreams.
I got it to work. I fixed it. So we have 21 entries. I'm going to head and click draw now. And I'm going to I should do it the way you guys said to do it. I'm going to redo it.
Yeah, don't show us who won unless it was Shelby.
Nope,
then
I'm not going to show anybody.
I don't know how I get hurt every single show, but my wrist is tattered.
Your wrist is
Pick
what?
up turtles out of the pond.
Tattered. All I did was push open a door, probably, and I feel like I pulled a muscle. You go for
Shelby
it, Cody.
abusing you.
Probably.
Shelby, are you
I'm not
being-
realizing it. It's sleep deprived.
It's always the quiet
Beating the
ones.
crap out of me if I fell asleep for a second.
Might have been like the 50-pound of shrimp he carried in the door by himself today.
No,
Well,
no,
it's
no.
like 100 pounds. That's heavy.
This is
Oh,
All right,
here we go.
figured it out.
Oh.
I actually did it right. All right, here we go, guys. And the winner is Brandon. How about it?
it's rigged.
Out the
That's
way.
It's rigged.
awesome. Congratulations, Brandon. PM me your address and such, so that way I can send it out.
I can send
won't-
you his address. It's fresh
bet
in
you
my
can.
GPS.
I bet you can.
GPS.
I won't be shipping out until after Aquashella Dallas, though. So that's the only stipulation. of
Chance.
this. What's up?
Dang, we should. I'm sending him a box of shrimp too. If you just want to bring the plants to Dallas, and then I'll ship it to him Monday.
Are you shipping from Dallas?
No, but I'm shipping out Monday.
I'll just ship them from my place. It's no big deal.
Okay,
That way the plants aren't
just
like
saving
out of
on
the
shipping
ground.
price.
Yeah, but then I don't know. They're like pulled for longer than.
I'll just give you the shrimp then.
Okay. I mean, I'm flying home though.
Yeah, all right, never mind.
We'll figure it out. Cool. So good job, Brandon. Congratulations.
Awesome.
I'm gonna not share this anymore. So I guess we can go ahead and dig into some aquascapes here. Jen, do you want to stick around for that, or you're welcome to hang around? I don't.
Oh, you're done? No more questions? That's it? That's all you
Do you
wanted
guys-
from me?
Do you guys have any more questions about the aqua gallery at all?
I mean, it's going to happen next week. Do you have anything new to showcase?
Anything?
Or-
Well, every time it's new.
Yeah, it's new every
Tank
time.
is
No,
different every single
I'm saying
time.
like a new product spotlight or something like that.
I guess you're just gonna have to stop by, aren't you?
Oh, nice. That's the way.
So I
to
got
do
a
it.
question. How
Go
do
ahead,
you
yeah.
guys, so when it comes to scaping all of those tanks, and just the hardscape, and I know lining up the people is just a thing, but just getting all those scapes put together for the show, how do you guys manage that? Like I said, you guys are usually there till 10 o'clock at night, but I know that you have live scapes going on the whole show and all that stuff. So how do you manage like materials and kind of making sure that presentation's the best?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. So let's kind of back it up a little bit. The whole gallery is not just Oasa. So to be clear, it is also Aqualife, and they donate just about everything. So all the tanks, they put up a good portion of the booth presence itself, and they're instrumental. I mean, we obviously couldn't do it without them either. So Nancy and Ashley are the keys on that. So Nancy from Aqualife and Ashley from Oasa, and we start, months in advance trying to figure out who's doing what, asking people if they want to participate, seeing who's on the ground local that we can work with, that we could send a tank to in advance to get started, because that's really what we prefer to do. We like to have local people involved. This time we're not going to have as many because a lot of people weren't going to be around. They were traveling or whatever else. It's a summer show. So Chicago will be completely different. We'll have a lot of local people there. But so we figure out who's going to be on what tank, and we, ask people if they want it in advance. If they're driving, if you're driving to the show, you're more than welcome to get it in advance, throw it out and drag it there with you. And then we kind of start to drill down into the planning of plants. I got to order plants for everybody. We got to figure out who's getting what hardscape. And usually I just kind of send a list for hardscape to Nancy, and she does a lot of the details of figuring out what they have in stock and what they can bring. And she never disappoints. It's always great stuff. The wood and the rocks and stuff. So
the materials were awesome. I gotta say, like for that was like amazing. yeah, for sure.
Well, we talked about that last week a little bit when we were talking about the competition. Is when it comes to scaping, it's like not all stones are equal, and scapers definitely find their favorites that they find as a base. So that was why that kind of inspired my question was, how do you guys make such cool scapes without having, 10 times the actual material there?
Well, that's part of it, right? We can't just have anybody show up and do these, because you got to be a little bit vetted to be able to perform under these circumstances. Because it's not easy to just say, here's what you have to work with, go for it, make something great. And then, hope for the best. So a lot of it comes down to having some experience at least, and so we know and we can feel comfortable that it's not going to be something we have to come in later and fix for you while you're not looking, which we've never had to do. To be clear, we've never had to do that. But yeah, so on the ground, when we get there, we typically like people to get there on Thursday, and then Friday we pretty much have everybody set up. So we can have everything kind of settled in by the time the show opens on Saturday. We can get our water changes in the morning before everybody shows up, make sure everything's tip top. And so we have the most chance of everything going well, basically. So we'll get the plants will get there. If they don't get stuck in customs, thank you, Tropica, for those donations. Forgot about that. That's a huge part of it.
Thank you, Tropica, so much.
Yeah, Tropica is awesome.
Thank you.
And so generous. I mean, don't ever bat an eye at the list I send them, which I always have a pit in my stomach when I send it to them.
I mean, my list for one tank was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. So yeah, thank you, Tropica. Big, huge thank you to Tropica for all of their support. And then, so they'll usually get there Thursday. If they get held up in customs, sometimes it's Friday, and everybody's having a little panic attack. And then the fish will always arrive on Friday. That's usually not a big deal. This time they're coming from Imperial Tropicals down there in Florida, which I'm pretty excited about.
Nice.
Seagrass is kind of doing a different direction with their sponsors, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to work with them anymore. But still one of my favorite companies. I do love them over there at Seagrass.
They do a lot of good things for the hobby in general. So.
Oh, for sure. Always.
Well, Imperial's great company too. I visited their farm, and it blows my mind going to their farm.
Yeah.
The mics that work there, though, you just can't trust them.
I know. There's so many mics. There's mics everywhere.
It's one of the job requirements to work there. Is you got to be named Mike.
You have to be Mike.
Or Derek. Derek's a great guy.
They just call him Mike, though.
That's
hey,
great.
Mike.
Like 80 people turn around.
Yeah, pretty excited to be working with them this time. And we'll see if they want to be in it for the long haul. We'll leave that open to them. It's a pretty big demand. We have, 23 tanks to stock. And a lot of it is just nano stuff, which isn't always their forte. They have a great selection, but it's not like everything they carry. So obviously we can't have any tank busters in the gallery because we don't.
Tank.
Right. We'll shove them in a little 5-gallon, call it a day. So there's that aspect of it also.
Their farming style is really cool because they do like basically ponds, and they let them breed all season, and then they like sieve out all of the whatever breeds in those ponds, and that's their fish stock. So it's really so cool. And the quality of some of theirs, like I remember I got some black veil angelfish from them when I visited them a couple of years ago, and you just don't see that quality, the sparkling colors. But anyways, I'll let you.
And live food, sunshine.
Yeah,
it's great for fish.
Yep. You can't beat the sunshine on them. I swear it does like magic for them. Look at Grant Shrimp. It does magic. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to do the tank there. I guess I have that bookshelf tank, right?
Yeah, we got a good one for you this time.
Yeah,
it's challenging.
It's challenging,
you'll
but
be fine.
It's fun. Like I already sketched it out. I already have an idea because you gave me the dimensions. So
is that long and shallow?
Well, no, it's 36. I think it's 36, right? But it's only, I think, 8 deep.
8
and then maybe 10 high, maybe
10,
something like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's a fun. That's a fun.
It's fun, but it's not easy.
No, it definitely is. Yeah.
So
we'll see.
Oh, you promised.
Told you guys I'd be knocking that over. I told you.
You live up to promise. Girl of her word.
Hey, I don't want to let you down.
The views
Yeah, Melanie
appreciated.
had it last time, and she
Yeah, she
rocked
did an
it.
amazing job with that.
Mhm.
That was awesome. Melanie's
She's pretty good.
Yeah, that Blackwater design was awesome.
Yeah, you can get so creative with those types of tanks, the long and narrow ones. I'm not a fan of the skinny side of it, but it's definitely awesome to.
It really is a neat footprint. I love
Yeah.
the bookshelf
Well,
style.
it
tank.
allows you to get a little bit creative with trying to create the depth and stuff like that in a space that's that narrow, and you can do some really cool things. I can't wait to see what Chance does with it.
Me either. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I can't wait. I'm super stoked. I'm stoked about Dallas in general. We have the competition. I'm doing a few other scapes there, so it's just nice.
You're going to be busy.
I'm always busy though. That's how I function. Like if I don't have more than like 4 or 5 scapes going on, I get bored. So
well, you will not be bored.
Good.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. So I can't wait to see you. If you want to stick around for the Aquascape critiquing thing, you're welcome to. But I'm not gonna
hang out for a couple minutes.
Okay,
I got a pack to go to ACA tomorrow.
Awesome.
So would you say, Jen, just before we switch over, would you say the best way, like, do you guys contact like local fish clubs and stuff like that when you're looking for local people? Like, is that a good way for people to try to get connected with you guys, or how does that really work? Because I mean, I'm always a big fan of local clubs, especially because local fish clubs, you get such a wide variety of people that have a passion, like the same passion but different areas. So yeah.
Yes, that would be a good way. So in Chicago, we have CAPS, which I would recommend everybody join anyhow. It's an incredible club, fantastic resource. The knowledge in that club is, I mean, in the U.S., top notch. And they're way more active than GWAPA. Sorry, GWAPA. We've all kind of gone our different ways a little bit in GWAPA. We're trying to regroup. But no, CAPS is awesome. So get involved with them if you're in the Chicago area, anyhow, regardless. And then Dallas, we've been trying to work with the APC. Dallas, Fort Worth. Oh, I can't ever remember. There's so many letters. Dallas, Fort Worth. Yes, the Aquatic Clam Club. Thank you.
Texas plants.
Just trying to give them props. You're gonna have to figure it out. But yeah, so we've been working with them. They're gonna have 2 tanks in the gallery. We're pretty excited about that. And they had a tank last year. It was a group effort, one of the bigger ones. So we gave them. We don't have that size that we're bringing anymore. So we broke it down a little bit and gave them a couple of little ones. So that'll be fun. To see what they bring. And then in Orlando, we don't really have, other than, I mean, you guys, obviously in our Florida group, we don't really have a club that we work with there. I don't know, besides yours, Chance, that
I'm
getting
building.
Going. We'll get there.
For the last like 3-4 years.
So one of the things that I'd like to incorporate Chance more is the horticulture program at our club. Our club is the largest freshwater aquarium club in the country that meets. We have 80 to 112 people meeting live every month. And if we can get the Breeders Award program going, the next thing I'm going to start hammering is the horticulture. Because if it's a fish club that can't breed fish, we're not going to be able to do plants. So I figured one step at a time, but by the end of the year, I want Chance involved in something. And you had already mentioned doing something with overall all over the state. So if we could incorporate all of it together, I'm all for that. But if you need a club, the Pasco Aquarium Club is very
every time I visit, I'm amazed
at
how many people show up to your meetings.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah,
good for you.
It's fun talking.
I feel bad because I'm wearing the Staff shirt, not a Pasco shirt.
I don't know. I brought it for me.
Oh, come on, Shelby, control your man.
All right, so let's jump into some scapes really quickly.
First scape, though. Shelby actually scaped the tank for,
Real quick, on the HAP program, the AGA had one years ago, and it kind of fell by the wayside, and we do need to get that back up and running again. So
and you volunteered Chance.
talk to you briefly about that. Yeah, we need to make that happen. I know
yeah,
that
no,
this
Chance has to do it. It's bound to his destiny. If he doesn't do it, he's got to step out of the hobby.
Does it.
I got to step out of the hobby.
It just be organized now.
Yeah.
Chance, listen, when you're born into a destiny, you have to follow through or go a different path. You can't just beat around the bush.
No more
Just
bush
own it.
beating. I'll own it.
Very good.
All right.
So yeah, we'll talk about that, but that's definitely something that should come back around for sure.
I agree. It needs to. The popularity is
You've been
growing.
nominated.
All right, I accept.
Sorry.
So the second half of today's show, we're going to discuss some aquascapes that are close to my heart as well as the team's heart. This is kind of like an unofficial brainstorming session, as if you will, for the competition, as well as the Aqua Gallery or whatever. Anytime I look at scapes, I feel I gather inspiration. Anytime I look at nature photographs, I gather inspiration. Anytime I'm out walking or hiking or kayaking or whatever I do outside, my brain's like a Polaroid camera. I'm always like snapping shots and I'm committing them to memory, and that's where I end up building stuff off of that I see. But whenever I look at other artists' scapes, I really go into another world because I try to put myself into their head a bit as far as like their culture, where they are and what they see daily. So I'll do a little bit of research on like where they live, even just to see what they see. Like I'll click around their city and stuff, as weird as that sounds. But I found like a lot of that correlates, like we'll share this one first. If I can get it. There we go. So this one here is done by Philippe Oliveira, I believe, if I've said that correctly. He's one of my all-time favorite aquascapers. His attitude, his mentality, his personality, his work, his art, it shows so much. And I can't speak to how much I appreciate his work as an inspiration to me and what I do. He takes naturescapes to the next level, in my opinion. Like I'm not a naturescape fan. Like I like dioramas and Brazilian style and stuff like that, but his scapes just take it to that next level for me. But this one in particular, I wanted to bring up mainly because of the use of hardscape. I think is just really cool. Like, you have like the black lava rock, it looks like, with some sort of driftwood in there, but the way that he situated everything is not something that like I would think to do, but at the same time, it's like awesome. And the choice of plants too, just like, I don't know, and the choice of fish. It's just a nice scape. So, but for like a competition basis and stuff like that, I think it would also be a nice live scape to look at, the style of it and how it's composed. So what are your guys' thoughts on it?
I mean, it's a quintessential triangular layout, right? Right. Poster perfect. What's not to like, really? I love it. I love his work also. He's a lovely human. He's an asset to the community for sure. So
I agree.
I don't have anything bad to say. I'm not critiquing anything.
Perfect. Brian? I think you're muted, Brian.
I'm muted. Yeah. So one of the things I love about Philippe is he actually makes like really simple scapes look absolutely amazing. They're never overly complicated or hard to take in, but they're always just absolutely breathtaking. Like, like this one, even, the idea would be to kind of bring that triangle more forward and try to create depth, where he went the exact opposite and created depth by, kind of bringing it back towards that back glass, which is just something, it's just a natural talent that he has on a lot of escapes.
Yeah, the background lighting is key, I believe. Like that's something that I think a lot of scapers overlook, is how crucial the background is, and even the angle that's shot at too. If you look at the angle that the photograph is taken from, it's just well thought out. Well thought out.
Yeah.
So we'll go to the next one. Doo-doo-doo. This is another Philippe Scape. This one is actually my all-time favorite of his, I believe, right now. I just think the use of the plants, it's almost like he went a little bit Dutchy style. Like he went a little bit Dutch style on there, and then built the hardscape after the fact. But he didn't. The before and after of it, he built the hardscape first and had the plants kind of planned out in that style, which is cool. I just really like the feel of it. It almost, instead of like using colorful plants as like the main foresight of Scape, like what you see nowadays in a lot of tanks, like it's like a rainbow vomit tank. But this is like really subtle. Like the use of color here is nice. Like the color's intense, but it flows real nicely. I guess that's an obvious thing. So Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is another one of those where, well, and Philippe does a really good job on really accentuating green as a color, like as a plant color versus, a lot of people try to highlight or use plant colors to highlight what they like. But yeah, this is another Philippe Scape that, you don't realize how much vision it takes to have just those sticks sticking out at the end once it's all planted when you're putting a scape together. So it's just a simple scape that absolutely is, it's stunning when you see those types of scapes in person.
Yeah, I agree. Grant, what about you, man?
Man, because of my horrible planning and everything that's going on, all I'm thinking about is like plant placement for our next scape. So it's definitely just giving me a lot of good ideas, especially that last one, because like I was going to bring it up earlier. Shelby didn't want me to, but she scaped a tank for the Jenny West contest.
Oh, nice.
So legit, all of the boosts in the house is gone. Like all the nice boosts anyway. She done took it. And we're bringing that tank with us. It's going to be displayed at Carib Sea in Dallas. So I won't be able to use any of that boost in the scape contest that we're going to be doing. So I have Anubis out the wazoo, and looking at his scapes definitely makes me feel better because, like, you're on the last one, the lighting was right. On this one, the depth is right. The way he angled the branches, not just towards you, but away from you, making the tank look bigger than it actually is. And then the plants at the right placement, they're just proportionally right to the rest of the aquascape. So I don't know, my brain's pretty much drifting. It's in game mode now. Not like you did really good on this part, Philippe. I love it. It's just giving me some inspiration. But I have Anubis out the wazoo though.
So we'll change the game a little bit now. This is a Josh Sims tank, I believe, if I'm still in the right order. Yes. Josh Sims,
tank, isn't it?
Sorry?
Isn't it a big tank?
It is. It's a pretty big
Probably
tank.
120, right?
Yeah. Josh Sims is an amazing artist, extremely talented guy. Just again, same thing with Philippe, the attitude, the charisma he carries, just a cool dude. And that seems to be what attracts me. I see, like when I look at artists, like their attitudes, their who they are inside and outside of the hobby. Like it really is. It shows in their art too. It really does. That's probably why Jen and I are friends. She's just a cool person too. So, with this scape, it shifts gear hard, like from what we were just looking at with Philippe. But this is my style. This is like something I can relate to, something I can envision, something when I close my eyes and I think of a scape, this is something that comes to mind. The biggest thing that I think attracts me to it is the depth. Like the depth here is just insane. It pulls your eyes, almost around. Like I don't know if I can get any like way to show, but you have the two tunnels there, like one a little bit of center right and the other one almost far left. of the tank there, and your eyes want to follow that circle of like a non-existent, semi-existent path there. Your eyes just keep looping around the scape, and it's awesome. At least my eyes do.
Yeah.
It's just such a beautiful tank. And as far as ideas to pull from this, I think, notice how the hardscape, there's not really any bare hardscape, all the hardscape is pretty well coated in plants, some sort of plant life or moss life or anything like that. And if you're doing, I mean, in my experience, when you're doing a long-term scape or growing out a scape for a competition, plant mass is key to beat algae. So like a lot of these guys, from what I'm seeing, they will really throw any kind of plant mass they can, from packing pounds of moss in here to the pile of ferns and other epiphytes that are back into the back corners there. Not only does it add to the scape, but it's also a huge algae deterrent for the hardscape. It takes a lot of time to sit there and scrub hardscape with a toothbrush all day. So if you can beat that by just planning ahead and planning properly, I mean, not so much of a help in a live competition, but in a photo comp where you're growing a tank out for a few months, like that's key, I think. And I think Josh does that really well, because this hardscape, like you can zoom in on this picture like 10,000 times, and the hardscape is immaculate. Like you could tell it's not even been scrubbed ever. Like it's just the water quality is just kept that clean. So that's my thing.
Can we pause for a second and talk about the photography just on its own and
yes.
how difficult that is to do?
Yes.
I mean,
it's look at them.
Yeah, perfect.
Like these shots are like 1 in 1,000,
But they do them all the time. Like it's nothing.
Yeah,
jerks.
There's like 50,000 photographs of this tank probably, though, somewhere on a memory card somewhere. Like it's
there's probably 10.
Yeah, exactly. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got it.
Yeah. It's like I'll be done in 10 minutes. Hold on.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's spectacular to see a really, really well taken photograph of an aquascape, because it's just completely different.
It is
completely.
It really is.
And it goes hand in hand with what Chance was saying. Like you can see Josh's meticulous maintenance on this tank, whereas sometimes you'll see contest photos that you can tell that that tank just had a fresh trim, and it was kind of, they added plants out of place to kind of for the photo and type of thing like that. Whereas you can tell some scapes they let nature take its course. Like I'm pretty sure he probably didn't want the grass growing up the middle of the thing, but since it did grow that way, he did that. Another thing that Chance kind of pointed out was like a lot of people focus on like having one focal point, but this is a good example where you can have multiple focal points and not really get confused by the scape. I think that's kind of a misnomer that a lot of people worry about, is like, where's your eyes going to go on this? Instead of like, how are people going to react to taking in the whole aquascape?
Well, what's great.
Well, it helps to have a large canvas like that, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot easier to do than in a 2-gallon.
And what's great,
thing.
This was planned down to like the last thing too. You could tell, like, I mean, even the final shot with the fish, I guarantee you when he was building this dual focal point scape, he said that he's going to have one set of fish swimming from one set to the other hole. Like that's what really draws my eye, is I'm following the fish, like, and the fish are following the focal point. So it really is a 1 in a million shot, like Jen said, and the scape in itself is just captivating to me. I don't know, it's one of my favorites.
It's awesome.
This is another Sims tank,
which is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
But you can still see the same craftsmanship. Like,
you can.
A lot of these guys, they'll have a signature, and even if it's a completely different layout and a completely different style, you can still tell that who did it.
Yep.
I love that.
Totally. Exactly. This one I love mainly because the building of texture in the foreground up through the tank, the gradient of rock scale there that you see.
Yeah.
He really takes like the diorama feel and naturescape feel and combines the two so well in this. It really looks like a chunk out of a mountain in North Carolina almost. Like from hiking so much like through there. It's just really cool. Nothing. There's no straight lines. Like if you try to look for something that's straight or off place that you wouldn't see in nature, you can't find it. It's just a beautiful, well laid out scape. And again, the photograph with the fish, if you look at where the fish are heading, they're heading to the focal point. They're swimming towards the focal point. So if your eyes do get lost, or if you're a fauna based person, like if, the judges, you never know if you're a fish based judge or if you're more of a fish person, those fish right there are going to pull your eye to the artist's focal point. So it's, in my opinion, like another well planned out scape. The artist had an idea and he had a plan and he made a masterpiece out of it. He executed it perfectly. So that's my take, and what I'm grabbing from this one is the use of fauna here is key.
And keeping that focal point stream going up into the backgrounds are really cool and a very hard thing to accomplish.
Yeah, I agree. Grant, what do you think, man? Shelby, what about you?
Like Jen was saying with his signature, though, you can definitely tell that with the last Aquascape and this one, you can tell very close similarities, even though they're two different styles. You can see that he has on the right side, real close to you, you have like a focal point you're looking at and layers. So if you've ever seen someone actually paint mountainsides with streams running down the middle and different views like that, you can actually see he does it in nature, which is really hard to replicate, where like people do 3D images on paper, you just see him splat and they kind of overlay, which is what he's doing in the tank. So he's got the back, and then the left goes over, and then the right goes over, and then he has a little in the front. So really creates that depth in those tanks, and it's really hard to achieve, but he does it flawlessly.
I really like these scapes because there's like no wasted canvas space where I kind of like lose myself on liking the nature scapes a little bit, because I just see so much empty space where he just uses up all the space really well.
Yeah, that's the combination of the diorama style into the naturescape style. That's taking that Indonesian style and really giving it a twist.
It's not easy to do with the bonsai trees and stuff. It's really difficult. But again, like this is probably like a 60 deep tank.
I just put the no, it's not that big, man. It's only 24 inches tall. It's just well laid out. It's a really nice tank.
But it's 60 centimeters deep.
No, 24 inches tall and deep, 60 inches wide. So 60 inches across.
This is a 120, right?
Yes. Yeah. So like the tank I have behind me.
Show off.
Yep. So the next one.
It is 60 deep though. 24 inches is 60 centimeters deep. That's what I meant.
60 centimeters, not inches.
That's what I said though. Eh?
You said inches, eh?
I thought I said centimeters.
He's in Kentucky. Give him a break.
I thought you said, I could have sworn I said inches. We'll check tomorrow. It's no big deal. This is the next one. This is also a Simscape, I believe. I have to check. I don't want to give credit to the wrong person. I'll check on my phone. It's easier this way. Sorry. Yes. This is also a Josh Simscape.
Is he using Rikia?
I believe so.
That's an old school Amano.
So yeah, there is some Rikia back here.
I just noticed that. That's not for people that don't remember, like that's not like that's an old school Amano plant. Dancing.
Cat's got my back. I said centimeters.
You said it?
Did you just rewind it to check?
No, chat.
Oh.
Chat did.
Oh, chat did?
We're the #1 Florida Scape Team podcast that launched this year, so we got good fans.
#1 Florida podcast that launched this year. You know, when you make a term vague enough, you could be #1 in anything.
Or specific enough.
Exactly. Oh yeah, specific enough. My bad.
You can always be unique.
I'm half asleep.
I hear you.
So this one's cool to me, mainly again, the background here is I think what does it for the whole scape, as weird as that is for me to say. It pulls you through what's going on up front.
Negative space.
Right. The negative space here is just as important as what is here. I think that in Scape, negative space makes it look clean compared to his other work, like what we were just pointing out, where the tank is filled. The use of negative space here fills it better, I think. It is a little confusing as far as focal point, though, I guess, in my opinion. I'd like to see how many fish or how many pictures he took of the fish in this. It almost looks like he couldn't get the fish to cooperate.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful scape in its own right.
This is earlier though, isn't it?
Yes.
Not recent. Yeah.
No. I've been following him for a while.
Well, that's a good point.
I love this one.
Yeah. So like a lot of the international aquascapers, some of their best qualities is actually taking inspiration from other aquascapers. So like doing what they're doing now, you know, this is like you know, anytime I see Rickia used in a scape, I always know it's an Amano like homage type of thing. You know, like you just don't. It's not a fun plant to grow in your tank because you can't ever reuse those plants. But at the same time, it's something that's been when it comes to nature scapes, it's something that stands out.
I agree. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and run another giveaway if I can get this to work.
Do it.
While you're doing that, I'm actually going to say good night, everybody.
All right. That works.
I got a jet.
Thank you for coming on.
No,
Thank you so much,
having me.
Jen. I appreciate it.
Super fun.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for not
See you
asking
tomorrow.
any hard questions.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I hope I didn't.
Thanks for all your criticism.
I will see you guys in 2 weeks, right? A week
Yes.
and a half.
Tomorrow.
Well, I'll
You'll
see
see
you
him tomorrow.
Yes. Everybody else.
Yes.
10
In a
days.
week.
Yep.
Bye.
See you then. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye. Good night.
Hey, thanks.
What's up, Brian? She won't
All
see
right.
you, Brian.
She wants to see me.
Except for you, Brian. Yeah. Sorry, man.
I'm in timeout.
So we're going to go ahead and run this next giveaway here. I'm going to come up with the hashtag. All right. So, all right, everybody, this is the second giveaway for the day. Here is the hashtag. Go ahead and enter it in there. I will give you guys.
Oh, you're so creative.
I know, aren't I? I'll give you guys 2 more minutes, I guess. It's 10:58 now, Eastern Standard Time. So at 11 p.m., I will draw the second winner. And this will be for a Philodendron Dark Lord. Just so you guys know. Not aquatic plants. Sorry. The next one.
This is a
maybe.
good way to get people to actually pay attention or stay on the stream.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring. I was gonna.
You're so smart.
I know, marketing techniques, right? I've been listening to my dad finally.
It happens eventually.
Yeah, well, you know, when you're trying to make it.
Oh,
You got any NFTs?
Got
if
any
you guys-
NFTs yet?
hey, Crypt Keeper just reminded me. If you
What's
haven't
up?
liked, subscribed, done all of that stuff that people say in YouTube videos or whatever, do it
Yeah.
right now and get the likes and stuff like that up so people will see it.
Yes, go splash that like button.
And give him another 1,000 follows if you have backup accounts.
Yes.
Oh, don't do that.
No,
Yeah.
don't do that. That's why I got, because I was at 1,100. Somebody must have spammed my account with like a bunch of fake bot accounts or whatever. 'Cause it dropped down like crazy, and that was disheartening.
No, YouTube will see the same IP address log on from one account. So if you do bots, you have to set them up from different IPs. So
Yeah, use a VPN if you're going to do that.
Nobody's that smart.
But then you need to watch, all the videos, like all the videos, comment on all the videos, or else you ruin the algorithm.
Yeah, just do it that way. Watch every single one of Chance's videos, comment on them, like them.
Shelby's just fucking this camera all of it.
Shelby's making me dizzy.
Solution.
I'm gonna get motion sickness.
My phone was gonna die. Okay.
Oh. All right. I'm gonna share the screen for the other window now.
Wish my floor had ice.
All right. It is 11 p.m. So I'm going to go ahead and click draw here in just a second.
Nancy, Nicole, Joe. I hope one of those three win.
I jumped in there last second.
You did? Should I wait?
Yeah. No.
The entries didn't go up.
Pull it.
There.
Watch
now
them.
they went up. Now they went up. Now if you win, though, I'm donating it to somebody else.
I just wanted to see if it would get in.
I'm just messing with you.
It got in. I saw the name.
Nicole Jones.
I called it.
All right.
Who?
Nicole
Jones.
No, Nicole, but I called it.
Jones.
Congratulations.
You should have just gone who a couple more times. And...
Who? Sorry.
It's Nicole.
You know how old? That's like forever ago. Man, I was in high school.
I was in middle school.
God, we're old.
Mrs.
You're
Jones.
old. I'm just kidding.
So the person asking for ice.
Yeah, I told her I'm getting to the age where I have to bring a brace for everything when I travel because I'm getting hurt everywhere. I don't understand. I just turned 30. Okay.
I'm only 4 years older than you. Then that's not that bad.
Yeah, but we've been hit by cars, so
we have been hit by cars.
10 years older.
Listen. But
have you been hit by Shelby though?
Grant breaks himself enough to be hit by
You got us there. You got us there.
I think she has smacked me once. I don't remember why though.
But I remember the feeling.
You took her dumpling at Hot Pot. You don't remember?
Probably.
It's the rudest thing I've ever seen you do.
Dude,
I could beat someone up for that. Okay.
You don't want to go to Hot Pot with me, man. I'll be snatching all the food.
Dude, I do want to go to Hot Pot with you. I'm about it. I haven't gone since you came, so
I'm down. I need to go back over to your side again.
We just need to bring Kevin over and we'll make it a thing.
Yep. So Nicole, go ahead and PM me your address and information that I need for shipping. And after Aquashella Dallas, your Philodendron Dark Lord will be on its way to your home.
Lucky.
Yeah, it's a nice plant. It's a really nice plant. One of my favorite philos. If you need care information on it and stuff like that, just PM me and I'll get it for you.
I think we actually got one of those, huh?
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, all Chance's plants are pre-loved, so you get that one for free.
I pre-love all my plants, whatever that means.
He gives it away for free.
Special fertilizer.
Yep. All that and stuffs. All right, so now I'm going to share the other screen again, and we'll just finish up with these scapes that I have on here. It's easiest to do with 2 monitors. I love how they give you tips. It's like, yeah, that'd be nice if I had 2 monitors.
Yeah.
All right.
Go.
So,
favorite one yet.
Here we are. This one is not by Josh Sims. This one is done by somebody else. Do you guys want to guess?
No.
Roger, go.
Nope.
I was just guessing, throwing names out there. I don't know who this is, but
this is a Fukata. This is a Fukata piece. So
when was that? What year?
Oh,
you know?
I have no clue. A long time ago.
Okay. That's not a winning one, was it?
I don't know.
Because he's on team got hit by a car too.
That's good. Not really though. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's why he didn't go back to back to back.
Yeah. Well, this one I love. it's rare that I see a tank that has a little bit of symmetry in it that I like. But I really like the symmetry in this tank, mainly because it's split in the middle, not by a path. It's split in the middle by a flat rock. And it's really cool because the proportions of everything, in contrary to the background, really work out in this. Like, this scape, like pre-planting was
it's
amazing looking. Like the hardscape work alone in this, minus the plants, is gold. Like the plants are just kind of like there here.
Well, but that's a vision thing. Yeah. That's that you have to visualize and know your plants very well to do a scape like that.
Yeah, I mean, this could not have any plants in it, and he could have literally just grown like some GDA on the rocks.
Yeah,
and I'd have been happy. Like, the hardscape in this is immaculate, and what's crazy is the vertical rock alignment. Like, there's no slant to those rocks back there. Like, those are straight up and down rocks. Like,
it's almost like a cliff. Yeah.
That's like creepy, weird in an aquascape, considering most things in an aquascape are all like, you're going for like extreme angles and stuff. But I mean, he was one of the first ones to use the vertical sticks to do like the forest and stuff, the vertical trees and stuff too. So it works to his name. It's awesome. I love it. Just saying.
For a little background, this is a guy that won IAPLC twice or 3 times now.
I am not sure of the amount of times.
He won back-to-back, or he was the first one to win back-to-back-to-back. I can't remember. But he's an aquascaper that, when it comes to Japanese aquascapes, he's a mentor to everybody that ranks in Japan, basically, because he has that vision and kind of, this is 100% skill scape that doesn't come overnight.
No. Yeah, no, this takes like a lot of vision and a lot of work to be able to set stones like this. Like I was saying, I wish I
at the top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wish I had the picture post planting, but I lost it. I'll have to try to find it again. But it's really cool, like just to see it without the plants. It worked.
Yeah,
really,
I sent
really,
you
really
a picture of a scape that has the pre and post. I think that was pretty cool to always show.
Yeah, I'll grab that in a second. That's right. Actually, right after this set of pictures, it's like coming right up. This is another Fukata, really awesome one.
It's just a depth thing, like one of the Japanese aquascaping talents is creating the depth in a relatively short tank, and they're masters at it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, Nano brought up a good point. I think he's right, though. I think Josh Sims was the first one to do vertical sticks. I believe you're right. So I think you're right on that one. Just to give credit to Josh Sims.
Look at Nano coming in with the facts.
I remember
when Josh watches this video, he'll know that we gave him credit.
Good. If.
Wait.
Well, hey guys,
we're the #1 Florida aquascaping podcast, our live stream, so we're good.
It is late, and we were up pretty much all night last night, and we got to wake up early. And I committed to a whole hour with you guys. I was gonna get that done, but
wait, before we go.
Okay.
We have not mentioned reflections though in the images when you're doing pictures. The number-1 thing that people love to see is that reflection on the top of the aquascape, making it look just superb. So a lot of people forget about that.
Yeah, top and sides.
Okay.
Yep.
But,
all right, guys. Well, have a good night.
And continue on.
Enjoy the show. I hope you sell all of your moss and guppy grass.
Yes.
Not the shrimp, though, huh? Leaving out the shrimp.
I hope you eat them.
Jaden's all about selling the shrimp to the Thai food restaurant now that he's had shrimp dumplings. He's like, how many shrimp dumplings can we get for all of our shrimp at the house? So I'm like, listen, it's not the same shrimp. We're going to be broke if you're doing it that way. But I'm just getting tired. I think my energy's taken away from you too. So
you're good.
Guys.
You're good, man.
I look forward to seeing you next week, and then
Not me.
you need anything beforehand, let me know, Chance.
All right, man.
See you, Brian.
Have a good
Bye.
night.
Good night, guys. Good night, Shelby. All right, Brian, it's you and me. What's up?
I always
doing,
dream
man?
of this moment.
I know, me too. I feel like we're alone. I feel like it got really quiet, even though.
No, I think it'll be fun to go through the rest of the pictures because
I agree.
it's
agree.
just. I mean, we're not doing criticisms. We're actually pointing out things that we like about Scape.
Yeah, that's the point of this. Like when you try to get inspiration, you have to
I
stay
don't
positive.
criticize very many. Yeah, I don't criticize very many Scapes. I am a fan of finding what you like in things versus things that you don't like in things. you know, so you could always, like I said, Josh Shems is an expert because he took what he liked out of Scapes versus looking at negatives.
Right. So what's interesting with this, I think, for me, is the amount of branches used are like in the close to like I don't even remember
The front,
what I read.
close to the glass because you can see it's like a couple, like an inch away from the front glass.
Yeah, but the amount of wood he used, those are like multiple different sticks all arranged and glued together there. So like he had to actually work to get his vision. It's not like he found, 3 big sticks and was like, yeah, all right. So like he had to actually create and fabricate this to get it to look like that. It wasn't something that just came together for him. He worked hard at doing this. And I mean, you can see in the top right hand corner that the trickle through of light with that bit of moss just splashing through there helps take your eye away from that dark cliff there. Because if that was all black there, this Scape wouldn't flow well, like in my opinion. Like if that was just empty wood space there, the tank wouldn't flow well. But that little bit of splash of light there helps carry your eyes back to where the focal was, at least for me. And then if you look at the branches, like everything is slanted towards the focal point too. Like everything is kind of comes in like this or like that. So you have the nice framed focal point there rather than like what I'm starting to see lately is like just absentee of that. Like the hardscape is kind of contrary to where the focal point is on some of the newer scapes today, which is fine in its own right, but it's harder to look at in my opinion.
Yeah, so you brought up a good point. I think that if you look at our actual Scape from the last Scape, a lot of people will see that we covered a lot of this. Like there's random moss places in a live Scape that we put on there, and a lot of those were actually covering the seams on the wood that we kind of saw in our vision. And it's something that people don't really understand about aquascaping is sometimes you have to have that foresight to see that you're going to cover those binding joints and whatever you use to keep your Scape together. You can cover those with actual plants to grow over it and accomplish really cool things.
I agree. And not only that, I mean, just to be contrary to what a photo competition is, a live competition, you really have to be precise. Like a lot of this is shadowing,
Yeah.
Like a lot of this is control of light, control of aperture, control of, f-stop on the camera. There's a lot of little tricks you can use that are legal in photo competitions. There's not post alteration. Yes. It's literally the photograph. Well, it's 100% legal.
Yeah, perfect point is this dark area over here on the side. Yeah.
That's lowered aperture.
That's 100% lighting, and he has a specific thing to make that little patch show through. So as you take in the Scape, you realize that area. Like it's not supposed to draw your attention right away, but he's trying to draw your attention there eventually as you take it in.
Right. Yeah. And then when you go into the live realm, the live scaping realm, you have no option to do that. All you have really, you have judges that walk around your tank. You have judges and then you're in the worst light too. Like you have the worst lighting imaginable you can think of on top of arena lighting. Like, so you have reflections that aren't there when you first build it. So it's interesting. You really have
honestly,
to be
that might be
live.
That might be a good episode for us to go over some live Scape competitions, because I think as a team, people that are joining, they'll realize that we do live scapes as a team. We don't do competition scapes where pictures and stuff like that as a team. So what's interesting is there's a completely different aspect and completely different worlds with the live scapes that are really fun to kind of get into. Oh man,
Yeah,
you show off your plants.
No, I'm
bragger.
trying to.
You're
Yeah,
bragging.
Right. Do you want to
No,
see
I
my
know you
plants,
are.
guys?
I know you're
Here.
trying to fix it. I'm just kidding.
Here, now I'll brag. I mean, come
Oh,
on.
there you go. That's on my website.
Yeah, actually, these are the photos. This is the last time I put photos on here. Was when I sent them to you.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right.
That's one of mine. Yeah.
Yes, it is. We are on yours now, so I will let you do the thing.
So this is
the
Steven's
thing, Brian.
tank. Yeah, so this is Steven's tank. He's a Japanese. He lives in Japan, but he's from Hawaii, I believe. This is his. So the same year the United States got what, 4th and 5th, I think, in the IAPLC. So Hip got 4th and Steven got 5th, which were the two highest ranking tanks. I think Steven ended up getting 2nd after this, but yeah, this is an interesting scape because you can see that negative space. It's one of those scapes where you were just talking about the lighting. He specifically designed this and engineered this tank, and I know Steven personally, so he's one of those that he'll sketch out what it is. A lot of this is foam with rocks and stuff like that sometimes, to be able to create his vision on what he should do. He definitely made his focal point. It's not really that slit in the middle, but it's that reflection off the top water to kind of frame everything in. But negative space is usually seen as light area or area that has nothing in it. But for me, this is a negative space that is dark and frames in the whole frame.
I agree. Yeah, the way he does his work is interesting. If you like, I wish I could get a shot of this tank back here.
Oh, yeah. No,
it changes the look of it completely because this is total diorama style. Because like if you're
it's engineered to get this specific look.
And if you're not at that angle, you're not seeing that picture.
No, not at all.
It's neat though. Like his style is really cool.
But he has the vision to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, he takes like an engineering aspect to aquascaping because like his stuff is totally built. Like it's really cool though. I love his style. I mean, one of the takeaways for me on it is the trailing branches on the left hand side here.
Yes.
They're very soft and subtle, and they I can't say that word right tonight, man. They contrast. There we go. They contrast the sharp, jagged rocks on the right side and middle, which is cool because the soft sticks kind of lead up to the focal, as you're saying. So, like, my eyes with the jagged rocks and things along those lines, I'm not really. For some reason, that's not really appealing to me. I don't know if that's like a basis for everybody, but my eyes tend to follow like more subtle lines on things and angles that are more natural, and that's what I see in the wood there, and that leads you right up to the focal point. And then again, the fish over there facing the direction of the focal point. So just all important things, really.
Yeah, it gives that impression of like the roots going into the water on something on the shore type of thing.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, this is definitely like a chunk out of a shoreline or whatever you want to call it.
And it goes the opposite direction of what the flow of the tank is. So, it's more forward and everything like that, which is, again, he engineered that vision, and he's one of those scapers that does that. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has rocks. If you look at the top right, that's like on the glass. Like it looks.
Oh yeah.
That's touching the front of the glass there, which is kind of like
create that effect. Yeah.
There's a lot of artists that are pretty prominent right now that will say that that's totally taboo. So, but it's
well, that's why I was so impressed with Tank is because he went against the norms on a lot of things.
Yeah. This one's really cool. This is a good choice.
Yeah, I picked it's a Razio inspired tank.
Yeah.
And the Indonesian Scapers, I wanted to throw this in there because the Indonesian Scapers definitely have their own style.
Oh yeah.
It's very, very complicated. Where they're at, the hardscape materials are cheap, but they use it to their fullest to make sure that the detail is there. And that's why I picked this one to kind of point out.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, what I love about the Indonesian scapes is the use of plants. You know, when they use plants, especially this scape. I'm just gonna blow it up. So this scape is absolutely phenomenal with the lighting and the negative space created by the dark shadows on the left and right, and again the actual pure negative space, little slit there for the focal point, but then underneath the log you have yet another focal point of the path going through but still leading up to the top one, and the splashes of color there, like that's so natural too, because when you go out and look, I mean the lighting here is actually hitting that log kind of hard, so of course the plants are going to be more photoreactive. So like from a a plant geek standpoint, it works. You know, you have the high intensity light there right on the orange plants, which carries it through, and then the fish again swimming at the focal point.
And yeah, so this is one of those that they dig it. You can tell it's inspired by what Steven did in the previous one. He with the dark negative space and the focal points being a lighting based thing.
Yeah,
before.
Yeah, and I agree, Zen. This does look like one of those tanks that you'd see as like an immersed terrarium or whatever. If those fish weren't there, it would be hard to tell. It would be really hard to tell. This one's one of my favorites too. I'm glad you chose this one.
I've always described, like, as a scape team, we're always outside the box and we'll do scapes like this. So I picked this one because it's such a unique scape that kind of fits. It creates the depth. You can see the layers that he created with his vision. And it's one of those that, like, you're talking about hardscape and then planting it. It's very minimal planting, but the plants definitely accentuates the depth of it.
Oh yeah, no, the planting in this, even though it's primarily moss, is crucial. Like otherwise you would just have slanted rocks, but the planting helps play in the shadows and pull depth hardcore. It's probably one of the dopest rockwork tanks I've ever seen, to be honest with you. Like,
I know, right?
It's cool. I love it. This is another no, never mind. It's Spanish artist. That's cool. So here we go. I love Galarga work, man.
Oh yeah. I picked a Brazilian scape because they're another country that kind of developed their own style.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, this is awesome. Luca is a really cool dude. Or sorry, Lewis. My bad. Luca's another Brazilian scaper too. But I gotta say, man, the work here, what blows my mind here is the reflection.
Yes.
This is something that's so cool because the reflection pulls the world of the plants that's behind those stones there into the front too, which is so cool.
You barely see them in the actual image, but that reflection makes
see everything.
An aquascape. You can see it's underwater.
Exactly. Yeah, and the rock work in this, it's so subtle up front and natural looking. You know, like when you're standing at a base of a mountain or whatever, for those that have seen it, like you have gradients. You know, you don't just have one giant rock. You have many different rocks. So it's that's what I love about the Brazilian style for sure, is their attention to detail in nature. It's there. It's very cool.
Well, like, you know, we were talking about earlier, the depth of this is 60 centimeters. So, like, it's no different than any other tank. but he creates so much depth on his tanks. It blows my mind.
And again, to Jen's point, the photograph. Let's talk about the photography here. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. You know, the angle of the scape, the angle of the fish all facing the same direction, coming from the focal point. It's just...
That's a perfect point. So, like, with these scape photos, they'll literally have air dryers making sure the reflection reflects what they had as a vision in their head. So, you know, you see the double circle on that. Like, that's definitely air blowing over the water to create that effect that just accentuates the scape perfectly.
Yep. Yeah, that's a cool trick. Brandon was mentioning that in the chat earlier about the hair dryer effect.
Yeah.
So,
well, and that's another thing that's interesting about that. Oh yeah, this is one of the scapes that I wanted to throw in the American style. You know, like Hip got number 4 in the world, which was at the time the best ranking for a U.S. scaper. And again, this is another one that you say, like, when you're talking about earlier, the plant mass in a system is definitely important on keeping the whole system healthy. He didn't get the focal point with the fish. The fish are in the background, but I think that creates depth on it. And it's unique to what he did, and I think that's why he scored with the way he did.
Yeah, this tank's really cool. The story behind this tank's really cool too. But,
and it's simple too.
Exactly.
You know, it's not difficult. It's easy plants and just a well-scaped tank.
It really is. Yeah. No, it's nice. This is definitely one that could be used for a live scape too.
Correct.
So it's all pretty much epiphytics except for the foreground. But I mean, I wish there was a way to zoom in.
This tank very long before he took his photos. So.
No, that's the funny story behind the tank. So yeah, but we'll
have Hip on here, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit more, like with him live. Yeah. But yeah, we can skip on. I just wanted to add this in there, and we'll talk to Hip about his scape personally. Like,
I agree.
I think that'll be more beneficial.
So this one's recent. I like this one a lot too. This is one of Steven's.
Yeah. So I included this one because he does that same dark negative space that he had in the one that got number 4 in the world, or number 5 in the world. To get number 2 in the world, but he made it less dominant, which I thought was really cool. It doesn't have specifically one focal point, but he does a good job with the reflections. He goes all the way to the top of the tank, and the fish definitely bring you in the same direction as the scape.
Yeah, the fish are crucial here because otherwise you'd have that big black rock there.
Correct.
So again, the planning that goes into this, you know, the goal here was to get the fish on that black rock and get a photograph, and he did it. So.
Well, and yeah, and Steven's one of those ones that he's already drawn up this scape on how it's going to be planted and looked.
Yep.
So, like, he already had a vision before he even took this picture, and probably took thousands of pictures to get that vision intact.
Indeed.
He's a good guy. We should probably get him on sometime. Got a little bit of time difference.
Yeah, a little bit. This one's cool. This one almost looks like a old school painting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I said this in the chat, and I'm pretty sure that they use mirrors to get that middle, like, focal pond point. But I can't remember specifically how they did it. But yeah, this is one of those, like, diorama scapes that they have that tree look at in the front that I just absolutely love. I think it takes a lot of work to get to do this successfully.
Yeah, this one could go south real easily.
Correct.
Plant choice is key here. If you see the plants he used in the trees, that's not moss. Like, those are plants.
Yeah.
So long-term maintenance of this scape, no. Like, I can see, like, the stuff in the trees there, that's just like something that's probably swapped out or you know, whatever, temporarily grown there.
Yeah, that's probably why you got 6 instead of number 1.
Yeah, no, but it's still an amazing scape. I'm not.
Yes.
I'm just saying, like the long term aspect of it or a live aspect of it would be pretty difficult to pull off.
Well, and that's one of the things they take into consideration with these competitions, because they don't want it to be something that people can just throw plants in at the last second.
Yeah.
And kind of like throw
It
something
does look
together,
like
you know?
does look like a Bob Ross painting. I agree. That's what came to my
That's
mind.
a perfect description.
This is the Bob.
You could tell
Bob
that
Ross
he put
tank.
the layers on that when he was creating it. He thought out the layers that he was going to do on this painting. He's not working with top reflection. He's working more with an overall, just presenting a diorama scape.
Yeah. So like, it's interesting the use of water and water. I've always steered away from that. This one's cool too.
Yeah, this is one of the ones I picked because I wanted to show the beginning and after, because there's plenty of aquascapers that'll show these, but it always blows my mind because it shows the vision you have to make a scape. The hardscape isn't everything. You've got to actually visualize what you're going to plant on it.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect execution of hardscape that looks dull and making it absolutely a naturescape.
Exactly. Yeah. And I honestly, I don't think the hardscape looks dull here. I think the hardscape is really cool.
Well, the selection of wood is perfect, but as far as like the overall like impressiveness, it's not. If you saw that to begin with, you wouldn't see the final vision.
Yeah.
Most people.
True. So let's go ahead and do another giveaway.
Okay.
This will be for a plant pack. So coming up with these hashtags is like tricky.
Do aquatic plants.
Aquatic.
Or I want plants. Or wet planties.
I'll do that one last. You got to giggle out of me. Let's see.
Or the
So this will be the hashtag, guys. Go ahead and enter this. We'll go ahead and do 2 minutes again, and then we will draw a winner. So it is 11:32. At 11:34, we shall draw. And yeah, while we're doing that, I just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in. This has been fun. It was nice to get back on the stream again this week and see everybody's faces. I'm really bad about going through the chat too, guys. So if there's something that's like really important that you want to say, just spam it and then it'll catch my attention. I have no problem with that.
Reach out to us directly because
yeah,
we're more than happy to answer questions.
And I need to figure out how to get mods because that needs to be a thing.
We'll get you set up.
So I'm going to figure that out this week. So next week's show, I'll have mods. It'll probably be a few that are always in here that I see all the time. And that'll make life easier. We'll have them throw questions up on the screen that are relevant and stuff like that to try to keep the audience more involved here.
And since Grant isn't here, then if you're interested in being a mod on Chance's channel, reach out to Grant and let him know that you're interested.
Exactly. Or reach out to me.
I'm just messing.
It's okay. Yeah. But really appreciate everybody tuning in and stuff. What was that?
Yeah.
I can't see anything. All I can see is the chat that's just running down the side of the screen over there. There's not doesn't like pop up or anything or ping me. So like if I'm zoned in talking about what's on my screen, which I do, I hyperfixate. I just totally ignore you guys. I'm sorry.
Hey, I know that life.
I know, but if you spam it, I'll see it. If you learn how to add a mod to the channel, sweet. Yes, send that to me and we'll do it. All right, 11:34. I'm going to share the screen now. If you haven't entered yet, go ahead and enter now because I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let's see.
Looks like people have good odds. It's worth sticking with us.
I know. That's why I did it like this. The people who are really loyal get more chances or better odds to win. All right, here we are. So hashtag Aquashella. This is for a plant pack, again, of my rare stems as well as a couple crypts possibly. We'll see. There'll be crypts in there. I have a lot of crypts right now. So we'll draw. Let's see.
Yay! Congratulations!
We're gonna draw again. If I win again, though, I'm just gonna pick somebody. All right, Dark River Aquatics. Good job, Dark River Aquatics. Congratulations. Go ahead and PM me your address, and I will get that out to you right after Aquashella. So
it's always good to see regulars win.
It is. Dark River has been with us since the beginning. One of my close friends there.
Crypt Keeper thinks it's rigged.
Who does?
Crypt Keeper thinks it's rigged.
It's rigged? No, it's not rigged.
We're not that smart.
I don't know how to rig things. Sorry, buddy.
You're giving us more credit than we deserve.
Way more. So we're going to come back to some scapes really quickly, just do a few more, and then we will draw another winner, and we'll call it a night because I'm getting kind of tired.
I'm with you.
It's been a long day. Actually, was that it?
Might be.
That was it.
Okay. Let's do another drawing, and I'll add Aquachar to this last drawing.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and just do a drawing then. Let's just stop this screen share.
Well, we have 12 people still watching.
All right, 13. Someone came back.
#1 Florida aquascaping live stream.
Hell yeah.
On Wednesdays at
10 p.m. on Chance Kramer's channel.
Yeah.
Oh, refresh. Oh, you guys are watching me do it this time. Cool. So told you I'd do it. All right, guys. Wet planties. Hashtag wet planties. Go ahead and enter your wet planties into the chat. I'm going to enter mine just because it makes the odds better. But there's your hashtag. And it's also easier to copy and paste. That's why I do it for you guys, you know.
And he likes winning.
I love winning my own plants.
He wins them every day.
It's actually better than winning other people's plants because I don't have to replant my plants. You know what I mean?
No giver.
I just walk out there and sprinkle some Osmocote on them once in a while. Smack them around a bit. Not really. They get the utmost love. All right. So at 11:40, we'll pull the plug on this one. In the meantime, Brian, are you gonna? I need that Aquachar for that system I'm building. How can I get that? Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a little bit. So you're doing a like basically a holding cell.
What I'm doing is I'm taking my crappy Florida well water and I'm running it through your Aquachar and actually it's an old school calcium reactor that I'm going to pack full of Aquachar and put hose fittings through. And
is it going to recirculate?
It's going to go in from there. It's going to go, well, before that, it's going to have sediment filters, and then it's going to go into your Aquachar, and then it's going to go into just a holding tank, a big reservoir, and it's going to have aeration. I use a lot of water, So a 250-gallon reservoir will be ran out in a week. So the water won't have time to like sit and get gross or whatever. It's also going to be aerated, like I said.
Yeah.
So and that's what I'll use for my terrestrial plants as well as the immersed aquatics.
Yeah. So, I'll get you like 5 gallons worth. That should be more than enough to do what you're doing from a water filtration standpoint.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll work on that because I definitely think there's going to be a benefit on filtering your water through that because again, it's Florida water and you can't help that.
No, it sucks, man. It's hard as a rock. I got like iron oxide like crazy.
I have an artesian well. I just got one last year, and
I've got a Loxahatchee well.
Well, yeah. So like I had the same thing with iron and stuff like that on my last well, and yeah, it definitely helps with the precipitation of the iron and stuff like that from the shallow wells standpoint. Hydrogen peroxide is always good if you're trying to do that type of stuff from a non-chlorine standpoint. So that might be a good bet for you to reduce some of that.
I agree. So let's go ahead and draw it. So I think the AquaChar is going to help mainly because it's going to pull out a lot of the metal impurities.
Correct.
That's what I'm really wanting. That's what's messing my plants up right now.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go ahead and draw.
Let's go, Chance.
And this is for a Philodendron Dark Lord, by the way. Liquid Zoo.
Hey, OnlyFans.
All right. Congratulations. Please PM me or message me in some manner your information.
Yeah, and he'll send it to me, and I'll get you some AquaChar. Send me a message, and I'll let you know what, and let me know what tank size you have.
All right, perfect.
So
that'll be cool. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed what we had to say. I hope everybody enjoyed Jen Williams, and I hope if you live in the Texas Dallas area there, that you come on out to Aquashella, you know, come up, say hi, hang out for a bit, bring me some cannabis, and we'll hang out.
Number one way to get hangout time.
Exactly. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see all my friends again. I get to see them like a few times a year as far as my Aquascape buddies, so I'm super stoked. We will be doing a live stream from Aquashella as a team on Grant's channel and as well as my channel, and I will be doing a full live stream walkthrough, vendor talking, just basically vlog style interview nonsense of what's going on there. So if you haven't been to an Aquashella, you can experience one on my channel now. Whenever that happens, I'll pretty much from start to finish every booth, even the coral side a little bit. We'll go through and take a peek. So I hope you guys enjoy everything. What's up, a couple of fish? Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in.
Hope you enjoyed it.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Again, thank you all so much for your love and support here. We appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
All right. You have a good one, buddy.